My name is Tommy Earley. I'm living here in a place called Lough Allen. So I'm on the shores of Lough Allen, and we're just a few minutes out from Drumshambo. My grandfather worked here when he was a young fella, and he went to work in America. And while he was in America, the place came up for sale. The farm here is pretty much the same as what we have today. My father would have worked on the farm. He would have done some work off the farm as well. What he had was mostly cows and grow some vegetables as well. He had the bog at the time as well, but we're right beside the Arena coal mines here, and he worked for part of his time in the coal mines. So one of the things was that if you were working in the coal mines, you could buy coal at a cheaper rate. So why would you spend the time saving turf when you could buy coal, which was a lot better fuel, cheaper? I suppose biodiversity is a big push on the farm. I got talking to this wildlife officer, and as we were walking along anyway, he dropped down to his knees and he started peeling back the grass like that. Oh, he says, "Do you know what you have here?" No. You know, I had been used to seeing stuff, you know, down at the lake and seeing stuff, you know what I mean? And but to hear this man telling me then that this is, you know, getting scarcer and rarer and everything else. So then I started getting more into it, finding out about it, you know. On the farm, there's old stands of woodland, and then I suppose for a long time there probably wasn't any trees planted. So 2010 I got in touch with the conservation officer again, and we planted up 20 acres at the time. So something over 16,000 trees went in. Ash, oak and alder. Once you get into planting trees, you always put a few in every year, because there's always trees coming down in storms and different things, or you might be changing things around a bit, so you might have to move a tree. It's all native, yeah. We wanted to plant it for the maximum benefit to the wildlife.
We'd say if you were to look around here, you'd say nothing here, only junk, and you should tidy up the whole place. But sure, there's so much biodiversity in it, you know. This is a mature row here, so we get our little mat there to sit onto it.
The reality of it is that we're well into a biodiversity crisis. On the farm here, I do ecotourism. So that's bringing schools, different interest groups for a tour around the farm, showing them the various habitats that's on the farm. I also offer social farming on the farm as well. And we also have a small community garden here. The methodology that we're using here is what they call a no-dig system. So you organise your beds, you sort out your drainage, and then you have wood chip paths in between. So it's very important having that timber on your farm again, so that you can use your own wood chip.
It's a nice path for people to walk on, but by having the fungal element in the wood chip, it travels in and attaches to the roots of the vegetables. When that fungal element attaches to the roots of the vegetables, it's the same as having 70% extra roots on your vegetable. So like, you put in anything there and it'll take off. So you can imagine anything with nearly twice the roots it should have on it.
Trees are beautiful things, and timber is very, very important to us. Once we're born, we're in a timber cradle, and when you're finished, you'll be put into a coffin, you know. So timber is around you all your life, and every farm can support trees in some amount, you know. And what's very important is, before you start planting them, understand why do you want to plant them anyway? What do you want to achieve by doing this planting? Like, if it's just for commercial reasons and nothing else, well, then you might have to weigh it up that, you know, you can do something for commercial reasons, but biodiversity might be losing out. Are you happy to do that? You want a farm to be able to survive, and for a farm to survive, it needs to have kind of several income support streams. I suppose the old expression is don't have all your eggs in the one basket. If you decided just to put in a monoculture, one type of tree, if those trees get a disease, well then that's you gone. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if you have a mix of different trees on your farm, or you're doing different things with the farm, you might have a small amount of cattle, you might have something else, and if one thing is going too bad, you can move and try something else. There is room everywhere for biodiversity to exist. So we can allow space for nature on any farm.